explain. Again, my questions are a little bit different because it's also I'm using all the information that comes from people who I look at as being ahead of and a little bit in different places than I am. Use Charlemagne, to be specific, to also get me armed with information that when I get in that position, I act accordingly.
But you're in that position.
Okay, no, you're right. But that's what I'm saying. Let me ask you a question. When you went to Complex 3 years ago, and you told them about podcasts, and you had an idea of a network, they didn't. Yeah, whatever, cool. If they had offered you that,
but wait. But let me just cut you off. Not that they didn't get it yet, Act. I offered them my podcast, a new podcast with me and you, the Everyday Struggle audio as a podcast, and one more podcast for $40,000 a month. And they said no. That's not, I don't get it. That's, I'm far away from getting it. So if you a creator and you in a building with niggas that's far away from getting it, you gotta go. Act, that was the best show ever made. And me and you was awesome. But as long as Rich Antonelli has something to do with this,
he's a good guy. Hold on, Joe.
Man, fuck Rich. No, he can be a good guy. No. He can be a good guy. He just didn't get it. That's all. There's nothing wrong. He just didn't understand.
Wait, hold on. But I know you lay all the blame at his feet, but you know, in a corporation, just like with Spotify, there's a lot of bureaucratic red tape you got to deal with. And you might just think, or for the regular listener, like, yo, hey, it's just one guy who's saying yes or no to anything Joe asked for.
No.
Not the case. It's board meetings, like, yo, it's a million different things.
It's 17 different departments, and guess what? It's somebody at the head of each one of them. Rich Antonelli sat at the head. So when it went up to 17 different departments, it ended with him. And Spotify, Dawn at the head. Thank you, my bro. I appreciate that, man. See, look, guy driving by recording me at home. You got the best podcast. I appreciate that. Listen, at Spotify, it was Dawn. It could go up 20 different departments, but it's going to live and die with Dawn. Dawn wasn't there when I got there. Dawn don't know nothing about a podcast. They just bring in big TV wig people so they could scale. Yeah.
Hey,
I don't talk too much here. I don't talk too much already on here.
Joe, regressing a little bit, because this is what I was going to ask you before you cut me off when I was asking. You remember when we started that Everyday Struggle, right? I remember it was the first time I ever walked in the complex. I don't know if you've been there before, maybe you have. But once we started, I believe the day after, maybe 2 days after, at least, I don't know if you were told, but they told me, because there was a whole section full of people and computers. They said, all of them got fired. And I said, why? And they said, listen, they're mostly print writers for websites, this and third. We're switching to video. Now, I didn't take that as much during that time. But it was clear that with us being at Complex and them acquiring just your talent and my talent and making the show, they clearly said, these people, maybe they were needed before, but now they're expendable. Be gone. Never really read into that, but now, you know, just hindsight is 2020. I'm asking you, what did it say to you? Because, a lot of times when we were talking, I was a lot of times trying to figure out, like, I didn't get the mentality. You get me? And you were reading a lot of things from a perception level that you also, listen, we've had some, like, moments in there, but I remember you were like, Act. Use TV. They're taking our that we signed a deal to only be on YouTube, and they're upstreaming it to linear. They're putting it on TV. Big problem. Another big fight in the whole building. Uneasiness. Again,
Spotify just made that same announcement, by the way, that we're taking all our original shows and we're making television shows and upstreaming them to TV. My fight is exactly the same as it was. Like, Complex is doing the same thing that Spotify did. Like, it's the same. When they fired all of those print writers, it told me that we was a hit, and we were so much of a hit that they're changing the entire business model of this company, like I told you 20 minutes ago. Hey, when I got to Spotify, you know what they said? hey, this ain't a music platform anymore. Hey, this is a podcasting platform now. That's what it says. Hey, when I went, hey, you don't know, but I went and had another meeting with Rich Antonelli and Cornell. We had one more sit down.
I heard about it, I think.
Just to try to see if we could do it because it was the greatest show in the world, right? And people work with people that they don't get along with all the time. So we had one more sit down. And me and Ian said, Rich, just so we're clear, because we have a YouTube page and we know how much we're making from our YouTube page. How much are y'all making off the YouTube from Everyday Struggle? Like the Everyday Struggle uploads. How much are y'all making from that? And why aren't we privy to it? Wouldn't that be important in renegotiation time? You know what Rich said? Same thing all these companies said. Well, we're using that money to pay for a staff of over 400 people. Know what I said? 400 people don't work for Everyday Struggle. Hey, nigga, it's 10 of us that come in here in the morning. You think I give a fuck about 400 people? No. Oh, so you telling me that I'm now paying for your payroll of your entire company? You think John will be all right with that? No. We walked away from that table. Because it's like, fair, how much are you going to take? And that's creators' problem. We broke, and we ain't never had because of oppression. So we just taking whatever they throw our way. But this is the time for that to change. There's too many of us that built this from the ground up. All we got to do is tell these niggas no, suck our dick.
People just can't do it like how you do it. Joe, you're a little abrasive. Joe, you know how ballsy it has to be. You're in an exclusive. Listen, you know, like when they're firing a radio personality, right? They usually don't allow that person to go live, or they cut it anytime they feel that person's about to slander that company. You went on a tirade for at least 2 episodes, pretty much kind of exposing and saying things about that particular platform that was publishing and distributing your content that was probably not in their best and public interest. And I'm watching this shit, I'm like, yo, my whole thing to everybody is that will not work for you. Don't ever try this. Joe is doing some if it works for him, cool. Let's see if it changes him, but it will not work for anybody else.
Well, Joe has a contract that says you can't edit my editorial.
But I guarantee that contract doesn't say they have to put it out. They could have listened to it before and say it's not coming out.
No, they can't do that. That's what the whole because